Hi, and welcome to another episode of Starship Gaming. Before we get started, I cannot stress enough, do not forget to subscribe. It really helps out, helps the channel grow, and if every single person who watched this video subscribed, that would really help out, and that would really be awesome. And if you like the video after you watch it, give it a thumbs up, and when you subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell. That will let you know when we make more awesome videos. Now let's jump right into today's topic. Now this is a topic that's kind of personal for me because I remember going to this store, the store being Gateway Country. If you're not familiar with it, it was a store that sold Gateway computers. But if you're not familiar with Gateway, let me give you a brief back history. Gateway, or then known as Gateway 2000, was pretty much a mail-order computer manufacturer that started in 1985 and pretty much copied the same success that came from Dell computers a few years before. The company remained under the Gateway 2000 name until around 1998 when it changed its name to just Gateway. And interesting enough, of course, Gateway was a company that was founded in Wisconsin, which is known for their cheese, which is also known for their cows. So it only makes sense that their logo, or I should say their mascot, was a cow. Or, their logo has cow spots. That's But they actually, we'll get into that in a moment. I'll explain. So in 1996, Gateway opened up their first retail store to sell Gateway computers directly to the consumer, and it was called Gateway Country. This is one of their earliest stores. This is actually what the logo for the some of the first stores had, and some stores actually kept this logo. They didn't update it until the time they closed, which we'll get into that in a moment. But Gateway Country was an experience, especially for young PC gamers who were just kind of getting their toes wet for the first time. And it was not so much a store as it was an experience. But the store was something of a, I guess you could say, well, it was magical. It wasn't like going into a Circuit City or a Walmart or any of those retail stores. You actually got a hands-on experience with the products. You could actually sit down and use them, which today a lot of stores don't do that. That was really a concept that was, popular in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. But today, actually getting to try out a product to see if you'd like it, especially in a retail setting, is very, very rare now. Occasionally you'll have like kiosks, like, at my local Target, they have a Nintendo Switch kiosk. You could play a Nintendo Switch, but half the time it's broken because, kids are a little rough with things and they just don't bother to fix it. So they turn it off and it stays off for like 4 or 5 years before they finally put another Nintendo console in it. That actually happened to my local Walmart around the time that they were selling like the PS3 and Xbox 360 and the Wii. Kids just were rough with these things and broke them. But we're getting a little off topic there. But yeah, you could go into the store and actually try out the product that you were planning on buying. And they carried a wide range of products later on, which we'll get into in a moment. So, like I said, Gateway Country, you could try out the product, and their mascot was a cow. Yeah. Actually, at some Gateway countries, when they opened, had their grand opening, they actually had, I guess you could say, like a petting zoo. And they usually had a baby cow or two that kids could walk up and pet and feed and, and all that jazz. Yeah, they're from Wisconsin. A lot of cows. I've actually got friends who live there, so yeah. But as you see in this photograph here, they eventually updated their logo to match their, their store's logo, I should say, to match their new company's logo, which took place around, I believe it was probably mid to late 1998. Kind of, updating it for the new millennium at that point. And Gateway Country was, it actually did fairly well the first couple years it opened. When I was growing up, a new plaza had just opened, like, in the year 2000. And that's the first time I got to go inside a Gateway Country, and it was just magical. They had computers, they had laptops, they had accessories, keyboards, video games. It was amazing. And eventually they introduced other products branded with the Gateway name. I believe they had televisions, DLP televisions that were labeled Gateway. I actually recall seeing one, I believe, one time at a flea market back about 11 or 12 years ago. And they had like digital cameras and I believe they had PDAs and stuff that were labeled Gateway. So yeah, it was a good time to throw your name on everything. It's not like any other company did it, looking at you, HP. But like all great things, they come to an end. And Gateway Country closed on April 9th, 2004, which was a very sad day. I remember when they were doing their liquidation sale. Actually, I believe my local store didn't even have that much notice. Maybe like a week. And I actually ended up going inside one, right before they closed and purchased some keyboards. I don't know why. My dad, he was with me. He's like, "Son, we need keyboards." And I'm like, "Why, Dad?" He's like, "Because you can never have enough keyboards. A man can never own enough keyboards." My dad was a very angry man. Very angry. We went through a lot of keyboards. Sadly, after the closing of Gateway Country, Gateway was into some financial trouble and ended up being bought out by Acer in 2007. Acer continued to rebadge a line of computers, both laptops and desktops, with the Gateway name for several years until eventually discontinuing it. However, in 2020, the name was revived for a series of low-end tablets and laptops and accessories and what have you that you can find now at your local Walmart. Growing up, we owned several Gateway PCs pre the Acer buyout, and they were fairly nice. They were really well made. And then when the Acer years came, that's when it kind of went downhill in quality. But the Gateway name is still alive. It's still out there. That makes me happy because the name Gateway holds so much nostalgia for me. I don't know anything about the newer products. I don't know how well they're made, if they're any good. I haven't tried one out myself yet. I might buy one just to do a video on. I don't know. But Gateway has came a long way in the past, 36 years. And, yeah. But Gateway Country, it was amazing. I wish that something like that would come back. I wish there was something out there that was like that. Something nationwide or even global that you could just walk into and try out the products. Of course, right now, in the times we live in, interaction with objects in a store is probably not preferred. But a few years down the road, it'll be okay again, I think. But the Gateway we grew up with in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s isn't quite the company that it used to be. And Gateway Country, great concept, was the unfortunate casualty of hard times. And, it really was one of the greatest. But like I said, all good things come to an end.